Hello, and welcome to our unnamed Viking village tour. Skip to this timestamp if you just want to see the tour, or stay to see our planning docs for the village. Before we begin our tour, let me give some background. This server has around 12 Vikings, and so we decided to start a giant Viking village. One of the Vikings drew up some city plans, came up with lot sizes and uses. As you can see in these plans, we wanted to create blocks of similar functions. We focused on starting the village around a useful block like the industrial and the cooking and farming ones. From there, we will build out to more aesthetic oriented and fun builds. As of this video, we have 2 blocks mostly completed. Block A, industrial, and Block C, farm and restaurant. These plans are not set in stone, and we had to make some adjustments as we went to fit the shape of the land. I found a few screenshots of some of our early parts of the island. I will save those for the end, but for now, let's get started with our tour. We will begin our tour in the Red Mage Treehouse. Located above the vegetable farm, we can also get a glimpse of the village, but also the bridge that connects our island to what we dubbed the supercontinent. The bridge won't be shown in the video though. This house is built atop one of the many oak trees in the village. Ahead you can see Eikthyr Park, and we will visit that later. Here we have our terraced vegetable farm and seed silo. We have plots for carrots, turnips, and onions. If you leave the farm and head to the left, you can see the start of Eikthyr Park and some general purpose park rules. We also started naming some of the streets, but the Grey Dwarfs keep breaking the signs. That said, leave a comment if you have a good street name. To the right here is a house designed to look and feel as if part of the industrial district. Currently though, it is vacant. This is Eikthyr Park. It's a simple and cozy place, located on the edge of town because we didn't have plans for the edges, so we are filling them with various structures. This park was chosen for this corner, and I'm really happy with how they created it. As we walk to the back here, you can see a beautiful gazebo, where we had an amazing wedding between a neck and a boar. The shaman who officiated it was incredibly touching. Sadly, there was a no cameras policy allowed, so I didn't get any footage of it. Once you leave the park, we can head on over to our boathouse, which is constantly under attack, so we don't leave the boats up. You may be thinking it's not tall enough for a carve, but it is. You just have to be very good at sailing. The boathouse is connected to our warehouse, and this upper walkway makes it a lot easier to pull the carts there compared to using the road. The upper level holds goods that need to be sorted, as well as trash that needs to be obliterated. The lower level holds the remaining non-food items. The warehouse is always crawling with thieves, and that's a capital punishment, so the look and feel of this place is just perfect. It has a warehouse vibe while still being completely functional. Once you leave the warehouse, you enter Acorn Square. Currently, this is our main square, and carts are a top tier item for this village. However, we noticed a bug where if you portal in and use a cart immediately, you can sometimes lose the items you just put into the cart. Just behind Acorn Square, we have this house here for the Viking Martini, and to the right of that is the BFI Inn. Underneath the BFI's balcony is a wall to commemorate our various mayors, with dates that include their terms in office, all of which sadly died in office. We select a mayor whenever a pig manages to escape the pig house, except for John Mayer. He was democratically elected with a harpoon. Have any good mayor names though? Let us know in the comments. I can't not show the memorial to mayors 1 through 3. The first mayor, the mayor, lived under these stairs for a long time, every night hiding to evade the Grey Dwarf attacks. Rest in peace, the mayor. The others were forced to uphold this tradition till it was determined no longer viable. Now let's move on with the tour. Here is the bottom floor of the inn. Boxes hold various components needed to make arrows or armor. Basically, a quick access if you didn't grab enough things from the warehouse. Coming up the stairs, we enter the tailoring and blacksmithing room where we can repair and craft materials. We also displayed some old upgraded items here too. The room adjacent is the resting area and map room. Here you can get a nice rested buff and update your map. The hearths and the cauldron are just for the aesthetic. Continuing upstairs, we have a bunch of cots for all the lazy peasant Vikings who can't afford their own homes because they waste all their coin on muck shakes and turnip toast. These cots may be for peasants, but the lord of the inn does have his own private room. As you leave the BFI, you can see the forest that needs to be chopped down so that we can continue the village expansion. Right next to the BFI is this beautiful cottagecore house with an amazing garden as well. Here we have our smelting facility, and it kind of looks like a turtle, which is super cool to me. From here, you can see the vacant lot and also a nice view of the farms and the Red Mage treehouse. Here we have the restaurant. We sort all the food into various boxes to make it easier for everyone to grab what they want or need. We have a box for junk food so that if you're just doing nothing and you don't want to worry about wasting resources, you can snack on these. We also sort the meads in a similar fashion too. They are behind a bar. Upstairs is not finished yet, but we have a single table. If we go downstairs, we can see the kitchen. Here is where we store and sort all the food items. We also keep anything for the boss fight down here, so that way we don't waste it beforehand. There's also a special service entrance with a cart outside so everyone can drop off their food items there. Or we can take this cart to the Acorn Square and grab everything left there. We don't have a name for this square yet, but here's a shrine that Pride Song built. We also have the worst way to farm honey, a bee tree. I created this for the aesthetic and it was a colossal mistake. I thought the honey would fall at the bottom. It does not. There's also been multiple deaths due to falling from this tree. 0 out of 10. Maybe even like negative 10 out of 10. Behind the honey tree, we have a picnic seating area. Making our way over this bridge, we used to have a zoo here with a pond housing some necks, also a deer enclosure, but we learned those all despawn after a while, so it has since been shut down. This bridge does lead us over to our boar farm. This first room is our taming house. We can bring pigs into these pens to be tamed, and then send them out the back doors to the main enclosure. Here we have our butcher shop for when it's time to say goodbye to some of our pigs. This hut is where we store our backup pigs in case of a raid. We've already had to reset the farm multiple times before we even created the backups. And this little hut, spoilers for those who are not in the Mistlands yet, is for our future chickens. This is more or less the end of the tour. However, I did forget to show the simp chart. Outside the restaurant, we have a simp chart, so everyone knows which food items are most important. If it's not on the chart and you need inventory space, then it's okay to return the item back to Odin. Now before we leave, I want to show you my favorite spot. Up here, between the cottage and the BFI, you can look at the Red Mage treehouse, and it's just an amazing sight. Well, this concludes our tour. I hope you all liked it, and if you did, let me know in the comments, as well as any ideas, feedback, or if you want to see future updates. See you all later.